Hi, my name is Joey, and thank you for clicking on my channel, Phoenix Rising from the Ashes. I am doing like a whole video and thing today. Like, I'm just gonna talk right straight through and then say goodbye at the end, and hopefully it won't come out to 20 minutes. I want to tell you today about my therapist appointment that I had a couple days ago, which I felt really good about after it was over. Like super good, like gooder than I normally feel after those kinds of appointments. Normally I feel like different things. Like sometimes I feel like dissatisfied, or like I didn't say what I wanted to say, or maybe didn't get the kind of like understanding that I wanted to feel like I was coming across. And the other day I just felt really good about it, and it made me feel good about like the direction I'm in right now, basically. um we went over pretty much like everything that's been going on, from the medication adjustment craziness to how I feel about how I'm communicating with the other people in my family, how I'm coping with the things that affect me. Searching for the words. Like in spite of the medication wonkiness. I don't know. Is that? Oh, you're okay. I'm onto something. so so like we went into all of these things, and we even went into masks. Like I went off on her for like probably solid 5 minutes about masks and the mask wearing, and how all this is happening, blah 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 blah. And this is it's such a difficult thing for me, because like I'm such a pleaser. Like I'm such a like person that wants to be make everybody happy, and wants to I don't know what the word is. I had another way of putting it.
You want to please people, especially the ones
I
you
want
love.
people I remember. I want people to approve of me and what I do. Okay? And like I know this about myself, and I've always been that way, but I know this about myself, and unfortunately, because I know this about myself, now I have to like question everything I do. And I'm like, were you doing this just because you want to be approved of, or are you doing this just because this is the right thing to do? And so I'm learning how to distinguish between those two things, because I think they can exist simultaneously, but I think you can also do things for other people, and also for yourself, because it's important to make sure that you're satisfied with like the way life is going, as much as you can be. I mean, there's only so much you can control, right? So I hope I'm not getting off topic. Okay, so at any rate, at the therapist appointment, um I felt very quote unquote approved of, because, for example, the mask issue. uh I told her, I said, to me, I'll wear them at the grocery store, I'll wear them at the clothing store, whatever, I'll wear them at the uh in the drive-through restaurants, or what have you. Okay? But the park the other day, I didn't feel it was necessary. And because I look at it like a checks and balances sort of system. Like I'm trying to think of how I told it to her. for example, the kid's been inside for 3 months or whatever, how long it's been. I don't know. 6 months, who knows? Hasn't been able to go to a park, hasn't been able to interact with other children, hasn't been able to do this. Okay. I can't get her to keep the mask on. If I can get her to get it on, I can't get her to keep that shit on, like, from the car seat to the ground outside the car. It's gone. Okay? It's gone. But, like I told the therapist, I still try. I still talk to her about it all the time. I still know in my mind, if she has to go to school in winter, spring, summer, or fall, who knows when it'll be, I don't know. But at some point, go to school. This mask thing is going to be a thing at school. It's just like, my point is, it's not going to go away. My logical part of my mind knows that. It does not want my kid to be a little shitster or a little inconsiderate person and say F with the mask. And I don't want that. So I try to work with the mask. We put it on, it doesn't stay on, whatever. It's like a training sort of thing, is how I put it to her. And that's how I look at it. I don't expect it to go away, but I also am not going to upset my kid and upset myself in a situation like going to the park that I know is going to freak me out to begin with. And you add that other layer of freakiness, it's a checks and balances system. In my mind, that didn't balance out. Okay? So that's how I put it to her. And of all the things I put to her, the mask thing, the medication thing, that I sought the psychiatrist and got the medication changed, that I let my other half here talk me into, upping that dosage just a tiny bit. And the difference that seemed to make, I talked to her about being assertive with how I feel to the people in my family, like the person holding the camera, my mom, my daughter now, because, like, honestly, if I don't watch out, she'll steamroll me. I'm not even kidding. And I don't want that to happen, and I know that. So, I'm actively working on trying to be assertive and not let that happen. So I told her all of that. I'm trying to think what else I told her. Is there anything I mentioned to you? You haven't. Angie has not heard. Are you, like, filming my...
No, I'm filming your face, but I want something and you want to move out of the way. Sorry.
You could have just paused it. Okay. Basically, I talked very extensively about the crap that's been going on and how I'm dealing with it. And she thought, other than the money, that I was doing really, really well. Especially in spite of, the uncertainty of
life.
Of life right now. Yeah. So, I felt very approved of, and I felt very validated, and I felt very good, like, about myself. And she says, as far as the money, she kind of sort of took me through, well, what makes you spend this money? When do you spend this money? This. Well, a lot of what I've been spending money on has been online, right? Because, the stores have been closed. And
Trolls.
Trolls? Where'd you see trolls?
Oblivious.
Anyway, so she says, well, when you're doing that, like, what makes you do that, basically? Like, be on your phone spending money. And I said, well, honestly, I don't actually have a lot of time completely by myself with the phone. I have like maybe a couple hours a day at the most. An hour or so in the morning before you get up. And maybe a few times during the day, like 20 minutes here or, you know, something like that. It's like broken up, right? So I said, and I had to think about it, like for a little bit. And then I realized what it was. And then I had to pretend to think about it a little bit more because I was kind of embarrassed. But honestly, like it's when I want to disengage. It's when I want to just turn my brain off and disengage and feel something that feels good. And I mean, a lot of these things are just chemical reactions. And I know that, but it still feels nice. So I said, well, when I disengage, that's what I do. And even though I'm sitting maybe right next to somebody or, you know, just have a very little amount of time alone, I still go and do these things. So she says, well, you need to find something else to like take its place. I said, okay. And she said the same thing as far as the kid going to school, because we talked about that. I'm fully admit I am not looking forward to that at all.
But she has to learn.
She has to be part of the world, and I can't shelter her away from that. And she wouldn't let me even if I tried, because she's like bursting at the seams to get out there, I think. But you know,
Spitfire.
Yo, Spitfire. But I'm not a Spitfire. I'm more like a
Joey Fire.
No, I'm like a candle that's like really full of wax, and just like the flame is like really short and it's just sort of wavering. Like if she's a Spitfire, that's me. I'm like the waxy melted candle. That's how I feel. I don't feel like a Spitfire. But my daughter's a Spitfire. And so I've got to like up my fire, you know, to at least kind of keep up with her. Otherwise, I'm in trouble. So at any rate, that's my update. That's what happened. I felt really good about the appointment. I felt like I was on the right track. And as far as the monies go, I don't know, you know, it's going to be what it's going to be, I guess. But I personally feel very much of the mindset that I'm not like looking for ways to be hard on myself, and I'm not looking for ways to sort of limit myself. Excuse me. Now, I know that shouldn't extend to spending money if you don't have it to expend. And I get that, and I'm going to look for something that will distract me from that. But
sorry for the angle.
Where was the angle? As far as eating, though, like, for instance, honestly, I'm not gonna restrict on that. And the reason for that is I don't really want to lose weight. Because I can't eat anything to begin with. Nothing tastes good.
Actually, it's not things taste good. Things taste overwhelming.
Yeah, they do. They do. You understand. They taste overwhelming. It's like the taste is too much taste. And it just blows my mouth away, and I just can't take it. Pepperoni pizza. Can't have it.
You barely have cheese pizza.
Yeah. I mean, I've been like this, like, I've had this tendency, right? I've always had this tendency. But now it's like everything's just sort of like totally enhanced. And I can't take the extremes of things. But I'm not crying so much, and I'm not down so much. We're getting things done, sort of. I mean, we're out. We're kind of shirking our responsibilities at home right now, but
Not really shirking anything.
well,
your mom is watching our child. The child's asleep. If we were shirking our share, we would leave your mom alone with the child all day and all night, and that'd be shirking our thing. No, we watch the child, we play with the child, we interact with the child as much as we can. The child does not want to have any interaction with us. She wants to spend most of the time in her room watching her tablet.
this is where we disagree, because I feel that's a failure on my part. So.
It's not a failure, dude. Ask Maria, even.
Look, we're not going to get into my maternal guilt right now, okay?
Honey.
I don't want to. I mean, that's a big part of it. Like, we talked about that a little bit, but honestly, like that, I feel like that is a matter of I need to sort of come to terms with the level of attention my kid really like seems to want, and also the attention that I'm able to give her. I know those two things don't always match up, and as she gets older, they change. And I still haven't quite come to terms with all that yet. I've needed a lot more time away from her recently. And I'm not happy about that. I'm not proud of that. There's nothing about me that feels good about that.
But other people would say to you, you do have somebody there to help you out through this stuff.
And thank God I do. So she's never really alone, but she's not, being engaged with as she should be engaged with.
Yes, but her mom also has mental problems that she needs to deal with and cope with. Not
but
everybody.
Man, her mom has like annoying fucking mental problems though, because it makes her like inferior as a mother.
No, it doesn't, dude. There are things that a normal mother would not do, such as leaving a piece of candy on her bed
Dude,
to wake her up.
dude, nobody
Two.
thinks that's a good thing. Candy's bad.
Doesn't matter. You care enough for her to make sure she's happy and awake. You make sure that girl gets everything she wants. Our house is full of toys that she has. Broken toys. Toys that are missing their clothes. And so forth and so on. Which tells me, for a person who loves to spend money to make sure the people she's happy with know that they're happy, should make you happy. But you don't.
But spending money doesn't make happiness.
No, but getting to watch somebody enjoy what you buy them is what your family seems to do.
I guess I come by it honestly, certainly. I mean,
your father.
I love buying things for people. I mean, like, I know I talk shit about, like, all the stuff that I buy for myself, and I do buy a shit ton of stuff for myself, but I buy just as much, if not more, for everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And I always have. Always.
And it's a trait that your father bestilled in you.
And it's not because we have so much money. It's just,
you just get...
That's just what I spend my money on.
You get joint satisfaction out of it, dear. There's nothing wrong with that. I do it too.
Okay, well, thank you for watching. I don't know, how long is this? 22 minutes? 21? Sorry it's so long. I'm going to sign up. Thank you for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe. Come back next time for more of my whatever this is, life.
Sorry to throw this out here, but my so-called life.
Dude, I was totally thinking that too, but I'm like not going to be lame and say it. But you said it.
So are you saying that I'm lame then?
Well, I don't think I've said it yet today, so I could just say it right now.
In case you're wondering, this is how we joke with each other. Okay.
Thank you for watching. Come back next time. Bye-bye.